Welcome everyone to In the Cosmos from the De Anza College Planetarium. My name is Toshi Komatsu and I'm your host and the director of the planetarium. Now this is part 2 in our series of to find summer binocular objects, and this time we focus on a star cluster and a nebula. So let's take a look. As usual, we are using Stellarium to simulate the southern sky on July 25th, 2020. And it's 9:30 p.m. local daylight time. Our targets are low to the horizon, so you will need a clear view to the south. To find our first target, we'll be looking towards the summer constellation Scorpius the Scorpion. Scorpius is known for the red supergiant star Antares, don't confuse it with Mars, and its distinctive hook shape for the Scorpion. Now, if you look at the bright star, the last bright star in the tail, that's a star called Shaula. And that's a star that we want to focus on first to find our first object, which is a star cluster. So if we go ahead and center on that, and we start to zoom in here, we'll see that there's another fainter star to the right. But if you go to the left, there's what looks like a little cluster right over here. So I would start with my binoculars focused on Shaula, and then I would make my way over towards the left. So I'm going to pan a little bit more to the left, and I'm going to start to zoom in a bit more here. And you can start to see a little bit more definition in this cluster here. This is known as Ptolemy's cluster, and it was first officially recorded by Claudius Ptolemy in the 2nd century CE. Now, under very dark skies, Ptolemy's cluster is visible to the naked eye, and so it was likely to have been observed by cultures around the world since antiquity. Now, this cluster is nearly 1,000 light years from Earth, which means that it takes the light 1,000 years to get to us, and contains about 80 stars total. Now, these are relatively young stars. They're about 200 million years old. Now, by comparison, our sun is about 4.5 billion years old, or 10 times older. Our next target is going to be in the constellation of Sagittarius, the Archer here. And so that's just a little bit over to the left. So we've got Sagittarius. And again, that's an archer. He's a centaur, half man, half horse. And he's got his archer's bow and arrow there. But Sagittarius is most known for its teapot shape. So what we're looking at here is, here's the body of the teapot, here's the handle, here's the spout, and here is the lid. And for our next target, which is a nebula, which is a cloud of gas in space here, what I want to do is I want to start with this bottommost star in the teapot, in the spout, and I want to sort of bisect the two stars that make the upper part of the spout. So I'm going to start from the bottom here, make my way up, and that's what I'll want to do with my binoculars. So starting kind of in this area over here, I'm going to go ahead and move my view and start to zoom in. And we're going to be looking, again, a bit higher. And what I'm looking for is a little fuzzy thing that's right around over here. So I'm going to start to keep zooming in. In Stellarium, of course, with binoculars, what you'll want to be doing is looking for this faint fuzzy there in the sky. Now, I'm going to zoom in quite a bit, so you're starting to see some color here. Stellarium is showing a process view of the Lagoon Nebula, which is the name of this nebula. And so there you can see a lot of color, but in your binoculars or your telescope, you won't get this color, but it's still worth trying to spot. Now, the Lagoon Nebula is what's called an emission nebula, meaning this is a star-forming region generating its own light. It's emitting its own light. This one's over 4,000 light years away, and there's already a cluster of 50 to 100 stars that have already formed. These are 2 million years young. They're practically baby stars. Remember that the Ptolemy cluster is 100 times older. So as we look across the sky, we can actually see stars in all stages of their lifetimes. Well, that's it for this edition of In the Cosmos. Hopefully you enjoyed that and learned a little something. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And be sure to click on the bell to get a notification every time we post a new video. You can find out more about the planetarium on our website, and you can find more astronomical goodness on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find those links in the description below. Until next time, thank you for checking in. Here's wishing you clear, dark skies, and this is the De Anza College Planetarium, signing off.